twins, for example, were research my one twin was oldest twins was new. The year before
Home stretch. A couple of things before we come to the workshop. The first thing, Phil has got a song, and he's going to play you the song in a minute. Just wait a second. He's got a song. He's going to play you that in a minute, and
let it go from Frozen.
They've got the music as well, so you can use that. The second thing that he will speak about is the hearing the word thing. There is an introduction that we do for 4 hours or so, that some of you have done it. It is very easy, anyone can present it, but you may want to have someone in to present it for you, and he'll speak a little bit about that.
And my wife tells me Phil's way of running it is absolutely brilliant.
Excuse me when I scratch my head. Friends, here I am, a last minute addition, and I am very happy to tell you about the manual first of all. You'll notice it's spiral bound, so it's flat on your lectern, so you, the presenter, read off everything that's in there in the leader's part, and it matches page for page with almost exactitude the very nicely printed workbook that the punters get. Your idea is to find a way of getting people to use hearing the word with knowledge and experience before they start, if you possibly can. And so getting people into the idea of how you read and paying attention to it. There are some funny bits at the beginning to get you going. Getting it over the shape of what do you do when you're having a little bit of Bible study, whether you do this by yourself and whether you then do it in a group, and giving shape and coherence and a system of regular questions so that each time you come to a passage, you know what you're looking for. So I heartily commend hearing the word. The beginning of the book tells you what Nigel's thinking is and how he's written it. Then there's the leader's manual, and towards the end, the next 6 passages in Mark, following the one that you've just studied in the introduction, the 4-hour course, which of course you don't do all at once. Best idea is Friday night and Saturday morning, but you adjust to suit when your people are free. And then the follow-on is 6 studies that they can work on by themselves. That's in the workbook, and if you have a whole lot more people joining in at that stage, we can also do it in the format that you've got your Isaiahs there in a home-produced handout. Can I say that the presenter gets the advantage of a CD with all the slides on it, and whether you use a widescreen 16:9 or a more conventional old-fashioned telly 4:3, the different versions are in there. Whether you use Apple or PC, it's in there, and we've done everything we can to make life easy, and you advance the screen, and those are marked on the pages. If you can't get people to do the whole course, you'll discover that all these hearing the word booklets, whether this the manual or the other books that come in the later series, have on the inside front cover the material of the manual in one page there, and how do you do it in a group on the inside back cover. So we've done the best we can to make it accessible, whether people have done the whole group or not. But it's far easier if they've done the group. And as Nigel was saying, we in Torrance and 1 or 2 other people, because we've done it before, are happy to come and run the course for you if it's in reach. If it's 4 Monday nights in Killerman, then Nigel will do it himself. That's what he did, was it? 4 nights in Killerman, Alan. I forget when it was, but that's in reach from Torrance. But Inverness, I wouldn't maybe want to go up 4 Monday nights in a row. Thanks all the same. Great material. Great material. Now, The thing I was taught, that the one sin almost as bad as heresy when you're preaching was plagiarism. You don't lift what other people said and just say it. Well, I have got good news for you. There are some sermons that are designed to be pinched, word for word. Okay? They're not usually very long, maybe 2.5 minutes, and because somebody has worked quite hard at getting it into a condensed form, we're hoping it's memorable, and we're hoping that when it comes over, it carries the feel. So I got to thinking, first of all, what would the shepherds have sounded like on their way home after being at the manger? And that came out like a barbershop quartet, and it's called Bethlehem Business. And then I thought, what would Cleopas and that other person have sounded like if you'd asked them to tell what happened on that first Easter Sunday afternoon and evening? And this is what came out. And it's a duet. I'm insisting that it has to be performed properly with 2 people. And unfortunately, I don't have my alto just here. But you, when you take the music home with you, you are going to find singers in your church that could sing this. It's not difficult. The alto part is a little harder than the man's part. He's got the tune most of the way. And the piano part is not difficult. But I will tell you this. The computer can generate the notes. So I've got an MP3 file of the whole thing, which I'm going to play you now. I'm going to play the one where the alto part is emphasised, but it's just oohs and ahs on the computer, obviously, and so you won't get the right impression. And I will sometimes have to stand here and pretend to be the alto, but you understand, that'll spoil it a little bit. But it's here, and you can take copies home. There are 25 here, and my hope is you will get something that is exuberant for Easter Sunday evening or another Sunday, and as you'll hear from the content, it'll suit Isaiah 53 as well if you're preaching on that sometime soon. Now, we can do nothing without the grace of God, so let's see if this is actually going to work. Here we go. A little bit of piano intro. We're walking slow, our spirits low. A stranger sees our eyes with tears are filled. He doesn't know. We have to show the awful story of how Jesus has been killed. But as we walk and hear him talk, he puts a different slant on all our fears. He comes inside the night to bide. He breaks the bread and suddenly he disappears. Did you see? Did you see? Could it be? It was he. It was Jesus himself all along. When he spoke on the road, something woke like a cord had been broken. We'd seen it all wrong. In the law and the prophets, God promised a king and an innocent servant who suffers for sin. They were one and the same. He would carry the blame of others so they could be free. He'd have gone further on, but the daylight was done, so we asked him to stay and he stopped. Then we sat down to sup, and he took the bread up and broke it. The penny just dropped. He vanished from sight, gave us both quite a turn. The whole time he talked, we had felt our hearts burn as he opened our minds and the scriptures to learn. The king and the servant are one. Got to go, tell the rest. Soon be dark, but speed's best. Good, the Passover moon is still bright. Found the others who said he's been raised from the dead. He is risen, the women were right. Then Jesus was there, said the scriptures advise Messiah will suffer, the third day will rise. Tell nations forgiveness to all he supplies who turn and believe in his name. He's been raised from the dead, and the breaking of bread was the trigger that opened our eyes. Sorry. Better with 2 people than a live pianist. Right, copies of the song Are you all familiar with the manual? If you've not, there's plenty copies here, and there's plenty copies of the intro workbook. There you go. I'm going to pass out the song right now, if that's okay to you.